Welcome to the Real Estate Investor Podcast. I'm your host, Gary Lipsky of Break of Day Capital. I talk to leading experts to discuss a wide range of subjects to educate investors on best-in-class practices to build legacy wealth and positively impact communities. Let's jump in. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Real Estate Investor Podcast. I'm your host, Gary Lipsky with Break of Day Capital. Be sure to join our Facebook group, Asset Management Mastery, where we have thousands of like-minded individuals sharing resources and best practices. Hi, listeners. I have some exciting news for you. I'm hosting the virtual Invest Smart Summit on June 6th. We'll cover how to more effectively evaluate sponsors, markets, and deals. We'll have one of the nation's top tax advisors, Tom Wheelwright, speak. And wealth isn't only about money. We'll also have Sahil Bloom, the New York Times bestselling author of The 5 Types of Wealth, and the acclaimed thought leader and life strategist, Tim Storey, join us. This is an event you won't want to miss. Go to investsmartsummit.com right now so that you can live your best life.
Choosing the right insurance coverage for multifamily properties isn't that complicated, if you know who to talk to. At the Garzella Group, we're uniquely qualified to help you navigate the range of policy choices you have, and we're committed to saving you 30% in the process. We do intensive market research and have nationwide relationships, so we can find coverage other insurance brokers simply can't. We should talk. Go to quotenow.biz, and we'll start the conversation.
Today on the podcast, we have Ben Reinberg. Ben has facilitated billions of dollars in transactions and is the CEO of Alliance Consolidated group of companies. And he just released a new book, Hard Assets and Hard Money for Hard Times. Thanks for joining us, Ben. Can you start by telling the listeners a little bit more about yourself and what you do?
Well, Gary, thank you so much for having me today. I really appreciate it. It's a real privilege to be on your show. Most people, if you don't know my story, I come from Chicago. I now live out in California. I moved out here about 4 years ago. I sit in our West Coast office. We're a Chicago, Illinois-based company, and I'm 55 years old. I started in Chicago. I grew the company. I started when I was 23. I've been in the business strictly as a principal in commercial real estate for 32 years. A little bit about me. Commercial real estate's in my blood. I didn't come from money. I grew my hard asset empire, which reflects on my new book of how to build a hard asset empire, which we'll touch on. But for me, it was something I always dreamed about. It was, how do I build wealth? How do I build a hard asset empire? And back in Chicago, we had families like the Crowns and the Pritzkers and Sam Zell and all these icons that were in commercial real estate. And I realized that the best way to build wealth was through hard assets. So after building over an excess of 12 million square feet of office and industrial, I started my career in office industrial, being from Chicago. It's a 24-hour port type city. And then we got into other asset classes. 22 years ago, I got into medical office. Everyone thought I was crazy. Now we're a leader in that space. We have a large medical office portfolio. And then we just launched multifamily, Gary, about a year ago, which is really exciting. We saw an opportunity. A lot of my colleagues have been struggling in that sector, and we said it's a good time for us to jump in. We have 200 plus years of leadership team experience around the United States. We have assets and offices around the United States. And so I am a commercial real estate expert. That's what I've done in my career. And I get a lot of people asking me for advice on investing. And so that's what kind of spurred into the book.
I love it. What a tremendous amount of experience in real estate. I mean, I wish I started at your age. We're the same age. It took me I just started when I was young 30s. I started investing in real estate. My parents never talked to me about it. I wish they did, but I love that you jumped in and that years of experience pays off so much when we face times like these. It's the time to invest, and so many people are scared. What are your thoughts on the current environment?
Well, it's interesting. Yesterday, we just closed on a new acquisition. And it was like it was just the perfect example of what's going on in this marketplace. Lack of liquidity. I assumed a loan. The attorneys are looking to rack up fees because there's not a lot of business out there. Even our lender legal had excessive fees. You could tell what's going on. So for everyone out there, just watch the store when you're doing deals in this market. And so what I saw was the lack of liquidity, the paranoia, the sensitivity by lenders, especially with regulators coming in. It's a different world we live in. And so deals have been tougher to acquire and to even close. It's a real treat when you close a deal. Like I've always, because I've done so many deals, Gary, that I'm kind of numb to the process. I was still numb yesterday. Like it didn't really mean as much. But yesterday meant something to me, which I haven't had that feeling in a while, because we had a closing that lasted over 10 hours yesterday for a simple deal. And it was just because of what's going on in the market. And so for everyone out there, pay attention to the details, okay, especially in this market. Have conversations with your lenders when you're doing deals about expectations, lay out the land, understand their processes. That way you can get comfort level. What I like to do is I like to get ahead of everyone. I lead in everything I do, even this company. And for everyone out there listening, is that when you can lead, okay, what ends up happening is you kind of minimize the risk and the issues that come up when you're acquiring deals, or if you're selling a deal either. So what I see in this market is a lack of liquidity. I see a lot of opportunities coming. We're going to have trillions of dollars of loans this year and next year, Gary, coming due down the pike, whether it's multifamily, all across the board in asset classes, there's going to be opportunities. And so for everyone out there, just be patient, like we've been patient, and you'll see some great buying opportunities, which are exciting. We've been waiting for this market for a long time.
Yeah, 100%. And I love what you said about leading, details, and being patient. I think, people, if you've had a big team, you need to cover overhead, and it's scary, but the some of the best deals are the ones that you don't do, because you're only as good as your last deal. So you can get in real trouble if you're just chasing deals when you shouldn't be doing them.
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, it's interesting. Investors have amnesia. Okay. And I tell them they think I walk on water because we have a 24% internal rate of return track record on medical office and 28% across the board, which are great numbers. But what most people don't realize is that if you're in this business long enough, and I'm going to tell everyone out there listening, you're going to have deals that don't do as well, that maybe they're not profitable. Maybe you have to sell at a time because you don't have the ability to hold. Because the key of this business is ability to hold, ride through cycles, have enough reserves, et cetera. So if you're out there listening, you want to make sure you have the ability to hold in your deals. That's flexibility in your lending. It could be having enough reserves to carry through a rainy day, whatever might happen. And I've seen it all. I've been in this business long enough in different cycles that not everything's going to go perfectly. And so even if you have a deal you're closing, and it should be an easy deal, things come up that are unexpected. And so you have to be resilient, Gary, in this business. You have to be persistent. You have to show up every day, and you have to take care of yourself. And it's a holistic approach. And it's one of the things I talk about in my book. When I wrote this book, it's not about Ben Reinberg. It's about you, everyone out there, of how to build it, how I've done it, how my colleagues have done it. And so in this market, especially, is you want to continue to grow, you want to continue to learn, you want to continue to build resources, and you continue to push forward. Not every day is going to be great. You're going to have some bad days. You're going to have some challenges. But in order to survive in this business, as long as I have over 3 decades, it's all about my attitude. It's all about that drive. It's all about when things are tough, because tough times don't last. Tough people do, Gary. And I tell that to people a lot, because to be in this business and to be successful, and you've been in it for a long time, you have to be resilient. You have to show up. You have to keep pushing forward. You have to be able to rise to the occasion when challenges happen. And it's a tough pill to swallow when you're younger, because you haven't been through the experience. That's why they say, our business is like a beautiful bottle of wine, because as you age, you get stronger and stronger. And like you and I, we're in the prime of our career. Being in your 50s, being in the business we've been this long, it's a real blessing, because you can see things before they happen. You can see like, hey, I've been through that experience. You know what? Let's do this before it gets out of control. Or you're in multifamily. You know what? We've seen this issue with these improvements. It can run out of control, these costs, and hurts our rents or hurts our profitability. We're going to pivot and use this material or do this process differently. So those are the beautiful things about business. But if you're young out there and you're just getting started and you're listening, You have to keep pushing forward and showing up every day so you can get to the point like Gary and I have where everything becomes easier. Your vision and your lens on things become easier. And so there's so many aspects to this business you have to master. It's incredible. Even your mindset, you're controlling your emotions, seeking the truth in what other people are saying, Gary. So there's so many things you can learn and continue to learn. So if you're out there listening, continue to grow, keep your mind open, and keep building your resources.
100%. Got to keep growing and learning. Even though we've been in the business a very long time, there's new things that come up all the time. The game is ever changing. So you got to keep learning, keep being a part of different groups to see what they're doing. Like you said, it's this. There's the first solution may not be the solution that works. It might take 4 different things to figure out how to fix something, but there's usually a one way to finally. Oh, excuse me. There's usually a way to finally solve a problem. It's not going to happen necessarily the first or second time, but you keep trying and trying and trying and being persistent and figuring it out, because this is a bit like whack-a-mole, and things are always ever changing.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that's important is that, I realize as a founder and CEO of Alliance that I didn't need to know it all. And when you're younger, you think you do, but you really don't. You need to attract amazing talent in your life and resources. And so we did that. I mean, what happened, Gary, last year is we decided to double down on AI and become a leader in that. And we realized that commercial real estate historically has been slow to adopt new technology because of our relationship nature business and the complexity of deal structures that we have to deal with. And so we said, you know what, we're going to retool our entire operation, and we're going to have a multi-year strategy with a custom-built enterprise AI system that we implemented in the company. And so it's become a real treat. And so what we did was we brought in, a head of AI. We brought in a head of staff to deal with AI and our employees and how things were changing. We upgraded our systems, and we promoted within and did deep level learning. And so for us, I know as a CEO, and for everyone out there, if you're a business owner, you're getting started, is that you don't need to know everything. But what you do is you attract amazing talent, and you find people that are smarter than you and more talented than you that you can leverage into. If you watch my first season of my TV show, which used to be a podcast, it's still a podcast too, is that we talk about leverage. And leverage is not just debt in our business, everyone. It's about technology. It's about business. It's about knowledge, people's knowledge and concepts. So leverage is your friend when it comes to learning and growing.
I love how much you've invested in AI. It's not just like, let's work on it, let's use a couple of things. You've really, really leaned into it, and that's super powerful for your business, I'm sure.
Oh, it's been incredible. And it's led to, when a year ago, when I started working on my book, Hard Assets and Hard Money for Hard Times, I took a step back and I said, well, what are really the keystones and the capstones? And if I have to teach people how to build a fortress and an empire, what is really important? So what I did was I developed this blueprint, right here. And the blueprint is on my website, benreinberg.com. It also comes with the book. And with the book, I teach people in the empire where you have to focus. And we talk about you get reward for focus. So for example, one of our niches is medical office, but we're big enough to have different niches. So if you're out there listening, you want to focus on one niche and double down and become the expert. You can get involved in other asset classes as you grow as a person in the business. Okay. And you can leverage into other people running other divisions. But to start, I say to people, start locally, start regionally, pick one niche. If it's industrial, like you're from Chicago, if you're in a self-storage area, you're like, hey, there's not a lot of competition, I'm going to start with that, or multifamily, whatever is your bailiwick, start with that, double down. You get rewarded in life for focus. The other thing I teach is when you start building your empire and you're focused on, say, industrial or whatever asset class you have, if you're going to invest in other industries, invest with smart money. That's how you start building your empire. And then we talk about the foundation, we talk about data and privacy. And there's so many things now, Gary, that all of us have to deal with with cybersecurity and the internet and technology that's constantly evolving, that you have to look at your empire blueprint that I just showed you. And the reason why I wrote this book was for everyone out there. It wasn't for me. I'm not there to tell my story and say how great I am. What I'm here is to help you to build a hard asset empire. So I created this blueprint. And what's great about it is that the book outlines, it makes it visual and transactional so everyone can build one. And it's not just for people getting started, for everyone out there listening. A billionaire are going to be using this book, because you're going to be able to take it off the bookshelf every day, every week, whatever your cadence is, and be able to refer to it and say, what do I need to improve? What do I need to amend? Where am I audibling? What do I need to add? What am I not thinking about? I want you to think. That's why I created this book. And what's great, Gary, is that the book has led into courses. So we now have courses to teach you how to build your hard asset empire. We just got done filming. So we have a class 101. It's called Core Foundations. And it's a step-by-step guide to establish the principles to build your hard asset empire. And then we said, okay, well, let's go a little bit deeper. And we said, okay, let's develop a class 201. The next step, and it's called Incremental Growth Assets. It's strategy for steady and scalable growth. Because the basis of the book is to build a hard asset empire. I'm going to teach you how to build it, how to compound it, how to grow it. But also what's really important is retain it and defend it like a castle. And so I teach you all these different skills. And then I said, okay, well, if you're done with the first class and second class, you want to keep going and really learn, we'll go to class 301. So 301 is called Legacy and Vision Planning, building long-term legacy and strategic vision. Because as you start building hard assets, you got to start thinking of succession planning, asset protection, all tax planning, all these things that come up. So I said, okay, let's build a class to deal with that. Then I said, okay, you want to keep going and growing, you want to become an expert. We're going to go to class 401. It's called Advanced Strategies, and it's high-level tactics to maximize impact. And we also offer where you can become an ambassador, where you go through the classes, you learn, and you say, hey, I want to be able to teach people how to build a hard asset empire, and you can become an ambassador to do that within our universe. So we're doing this because you're going to learn resilient cash flow strategies from the book and the courses. You'll be investing in great, stable market opportunities. We'll show you how to do that. And then you'll be able to personalize and build your own hard asset blueprint from the classes and from the book. And so it's really it's been a labor of love for about a year. It's something I've wanted to do, something I want to give back to people. And for everyone out there listening, if you're in real estate, commercial real estate, and you're saying to yourself, well, where can I get a competitive advantage? Go on Amazon and pick up a book. It's cheap. I made it cheap for a reason, because I want you to read it and see it and use a blueprint. And if you want to go deeper, take the courses, because the courses are easy. The courses will kind of lay out to you. And the reason why I did this, everyone, I want you to hear this because this is important to me. When I started, and the baby boomers, they were going to teach me the business. We're Gen X's. And it coming from Chicago, they just said, you know what, Ben, you got to learn on your own. Get in the deep water and swim. I'm giving you an advantage because I'm giving you the blueprint that'll allow you to build your hard asset empire just like I did. And one of the things I do is I touch on lessons I've learned. Like I'll give a war story, which is, I'm very vulnerable in the book. I'll be like, hey, I did this deal, didn't really work out well. Here's what I learned. Here were the issues. Here's something that you should learn and reflect on. And so I share these multi-million-dollar stories to allow you to get higher on the learning curve. And so that's what it's about. So I'm really excited to share this with everyone. It just dropped a week ago, so it's fresh. Courses just came out a few days ago. So if you go to benreinberg.com and you can go and do the courses, you can also order the book in bulk on our website. If you want to just order a book or two, you go to Amazon or Barnes & Noble. The reason why I gave in bulk is we had a lot of like CPAs, Gary, guys in the business, recruiters, to anyone in our universe, insurance agents, financial planners, RIAs, you name it. They said, well, wait a minute, can we buy the book in bulk? Because we want to give it as a gift and we want to be able to share it with you. It gives you a real platform for anyone of any caliber, for anywhere in the world, to learn how to build assets and do it in a productive, efficient way.
Well, it sounds awesome. There's so many instructors out there that teach you how to get your first deal. There's very few books that actually teach you how to minimize risk, what to do after you get the deal. So it's to buy a book and have all that information, and then the opportunity for those courses. That's a tremendous value.
Yeah, because it's something that I would have wanted when I was younger, And so if you look at it's like, well, if I could teach the younger Ben Reinberg, who started 32 years ago, just getting started, to the billionaire that looks at his portfolio and looks at his assets and says, oh, I didn't think about that, or I got to amend that or change it. That's what I want. I want people to be able to think and look and grow from it. And that's what the book has. It's really a good tool for people to look at their life and say, what do I need to do to build my hard asset empire? And the reason why hard assets matter is because it's been proven over the test of time that every wealthy family in the world has hard assets, a majority in their portfolio. And so it's been tested by me, it's been tested by other people. And for everyone out there, is if you're looking to build wealth, this is the best way to do it.
Yeah, 100%. Well, Ben, thank you so much for coming on the show, sharing your knowledge. And listeners, if you're out there, definitely check out the book. Why don't you share that website again one more time for people to go to?
So if you want to, there's a couple things. If you want to invest with us or learn more about Alliance, go to alliancecgc.com. That's alliancecgc.com. If you want to learn more about the book and take courses or follow me online or get into our universe, go to benreinberg.com. And it has all the different platforms we're on. As wherever I'm speaking, I'm now speaking to help people and talk about building their hard asset empire, as well as other topics. We'll have book signings around the country as well. And if you're looking to build your hard asset empire or even download a hard asset blueprint so you can see what the book and the courses are about. And if you're interested, feel free to take a course. I think you'll love it.
Well, thanks again, Ben. This is Gary Lipsky signing off. I'll be back next week with another informative episode on the Real Estate Investor Podcast. To all of our listeners, thanks for joining us. And if you like this episode, please head over to iTunes or Stitcher and subscribe, and leave a review, as it will help us reach more people. And if you'd like to learn more about what we do at Break of Day Capital, head over to our website at breakofdaycapital.com and sign up for our newsletter and fill out our investor application. We'll talk to you next week.